Melly's Menorah by Amy Rosenberg. It was winter. The Gopher family had just moved into their new home. The last boxes had been unpacked, and everything was in its new place. "Just think," said Mom. "Soon we will celebrate the first Hanukkah in our new home." "Yippee!" cried the Gopher children, Benny, Tess, and little Melly. One morning, little Melly noticed that Benny busily was sweeping the floor. "Why are you doing that?" asked Melly. "Tonight is the first night of Hanukkah," replied Benny. "I'm helping to get ready." "Can I help too?" asked Melly excitedly. "No," teased Benny. "You're better at messing up the house." "Oh, that wasn't very nice." Tess was in the next room making things with colored paper. "What are you doing?" asked Melly. "I'm going to decorate the entire house for Hanukkah," replied Tess. "Even the bathroom?" asked Melly. "Don't be silly," said Tess with a laugh. She did say the entire house, right? Melly was serious. "If no one will decorate the bathroom for Hanukkah, I will," she thought. She headed for the bathroom. Melly peeked in, and Mom was sitting on the bathroom floor amid rolls of wrapping paper. "What are you doing?" Melly asked. "I'm trying to wrap these presents where no one will see them," said Mom. "Can I help?" asked Melly. "No," said Mom. "Then your presents won't be a surprise." Melly went to her room. She wished she had presents to wrap for everyone. "I know," she thought. "I'll make Hanukkah cards." She was cutting and coloring when Dad burst in with the vacuum cleaner. Oh boy, whirring loudly. "We've got to clean up this mess," declared Dad. "Company is coming tonight for Hanukkah." "I'm making Hanukkah cards," said Melly. But Dad could not hear over the roar of the vacuum, and suddenly every last scrap of paper was sucked up and gone forever. So much for Hanukkah cards. Melly would have to find something else to do. Oh, that's sad. It was then that Melly smelled something yummy. She followed her nose to the kitchen, where Grandma was busily cooking. "What are you doing?" asked Melly. "I'm frying latkes. I'm making applesauce. I'm baking cookies." "Can I help?" asked Melly. "No," said Grandma, "but you can play with the leftover cookie dough." Since it is Hanukkah, Melly thought, "I'll make a menorah." She rolled and patted and pinched the dough. In no time at all, she had made a lovely menorah with 8 candle holders and a special place for the shamas candle. That's a great menorah, huh? Look at her. Grandma came into the room and began rummaging in the cupboards. Oh, that was Grandpa's. Sorry, not Grandma, Grandpa. "What are you doing?" asked Melly. "I'm looking for the menorah," said Grandpa. "It's time to polish it for the first night of Hanukkah." "I made a menorah," said Melly. But Grandpa was too busy, so he took no notice. "Why don't you go out and play in the snow?" he said. "I think I'll do just that," thought Melly, "since no one will let me help get ready for Hanukkah." Oh, it's a little sad, I think, for her. Melly passed through the kitchen on her way to the door. A sheet of Hanukkah cookies sat on the table, ready for baking. Melly grinned. She placed her cookie dough menorah among them. Grandma whisked the cookie sheet into the oven without noticing a thing. Melly put on her jacket and boots and slipped outside. Look, she put it right there. See that? The front yard was covered with snow. Melly decided to make up a game. First, she made a pile of snowballs. Then, one by one, she tossed them over her shoulder and tried to guess where they landed. One snowball landed with an odd thud. "Ouch! Is that any way to greet your Uncle Jack?" Melly turned around. "Sorry," she blushed. Oops, that was an accident, right? Uncle Jack just laughed. He scooped up Melly into an armful of gifts and carried her into the house. Oh, look at that happy Hanukkah sign. Soon the other guests arrived with presents and treats to share. The house was festive with decorations, gaily wrapped gifts, and the merry chatter of children. "I want to light the first candle," squealed Melly. "I want to open the first present," cried Tess. "I want to eat the first latke," boomed Benny. "I want us all to have a happy Hanukkah," said Uncle Jack. Just then, Grandpa rushed into the room. "I have terrible news," he announced. "The menorah is nowhere to be found. I've searched everywhere. It must have gotten lost when we moved. How will we light the candles? Asked Tess. Can't have Hanukkah without a menorah, moaned Mom. Suddenly the joy was gone. Everyone was silent and a little sad. Wait, cried Melly. I know where there's a menorah. And she raced into the kitchen and looked around. Grandma's special Hanukkah cookies were piled high on a shining silver tray. And there, among them, was Melly's menorah. Look at that. There's her menorah. Now baked golden brown. Melly grabbed it and returned as fast as she could. Everyone gathered around the cookie dough menorah. Look at that, roared Grandpa. Melly's made a menorah. Oh my, Grandma laughed when she saw it. We could have eaten it. It is a bit unusual, said Dad, but it is a menorah. I think it's the most beautiful menorah I've ever seen, said Mom, and she helped Melly light the first candle. Happy Hanukkah! Hooray for Melly! They all cheered. How about that? Then everyone had a fine feast of Grandma's latkes. They opened presents, played spin the dreidel, and sang songs of celebration. Wow, they're pretty happy, huh? And so, on each of the 8 nights of Hanukkah, Melly's cookie dough menorah glowed proudly, and so did Melly. Without her, there would have been no first Hanukkah to celebrate in the Gophers' new home with their menorah. Goodness gracious. This page tells about words that have to do with Hanukkah. We know about those.